Hello, I'm Lara Kulcharsan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. As the humanitarian crisis in Sudan worsens, social media is flooded with images of desperate civilians trapped in Fasher by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. Those who have escaped describe scenes of horror unfolding in the city, and the few who make it to relative safety in the town of Tawila tell of new challenges they are facing. Aid agencies estimate that some 60,000 people have made the 70-kilometer walk to Tawila. There, conditions are even worse than in Fasher. There are no food or basic essentials. In Sudan, 40 million out of a population of 51 million are displaced. It is one of the world's worst humanitarian cases. With reports of women and young girls being raped and attacked as they flee, there are growing calls for a safe corridor to be established.
What's happening right now in Fasher in Sudan is horrific, as people appear to be trapped with reports of mass killing and other atrocities. Our teams are working 60 kilometers away in Tawila, where they're seeing people starting to arrive from Fasher. We're finding extremely alarming levels of malnutrition among women and children, which is indicative of a famine-like situation. This is testament to the horror unfolding in and around the city, as the RSF have attacked and besieged it for more than 500 days. Among all the people arriving in Tawila, we're seeing very few adult men. Given the history of ethnically targeted violence in Fasher, we are deeply concerned about the risk of a potential bloodbath. We call for the urgent protection of all civilians and for safe escape routes for them.
I wish I could tell you things in Fasher are getting better. But the truth is, they're not. The situation there is nothing short of catastrophic in every sense of the word. Fasher is bleeding and desperately appealing for help, surrounded by rivers of blood, destruction, and mass killings. We are seeing summary executions, many filmed and shared by the Rapid Support Forces themselves. We have completely lost contact with our colleagues inside the city. Right now, the only images coming out are from the RSF's own cameras. And in the past 3 days, horrifying videos have flooded social media. Researchers at Yale University found evidence of mass killings, door-to-door executions, and even satellite images showing bodies trapped along the berms surrounding Fasher. UNICEF says more than 130,000 children are trapped inside the city, cut off from food, medicine, and safety. And the WHO says it's deeply shocked after more than 460 patients and companions were killed at the Saudi hospitals following attacks and the abduction of health workers. It's heartbreaking. Information is still hard to verify, but one thing is clear: Fasher needs urgent international intervention to protect civilians who are fleeing on foot.
It's been 2 decades in the making, and now it's finally officially open. On Saturday, Egypt has just unveiled the Grand Egyptian Museum right next to the pyramids of Giza. It's the largest archaeological complex in the world dedicated to a single civilization. The opening ceremony was every bit as grand as you would imagine. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi attended alongside delegations from nearly 80 countries. There were live performances in the courtyards, pharaoh costumes, and the pyramids glowing in the background. The idea for the museum first took shape about 30 years ago, with construction officially starting back in 2005. With years of delays, political upheaval, and funding issues meant it was left unfinished until work resumed in 2014. That vision came with a $1 billion price tag.
This museum is the biggest thing I've ever seen. In fact, it is officially the largest museum in the world dedicated to a single civilization. Can you even? It is gigantic. And because it's so big, and obviously there's lots of money behind it, there was royals there was heads of state. You can see here Queen Mary of Denmark, you can see here Queen Rani of Jordan. I mean, there was no expense spared at this grand opening. This was a drone show that depicted different pharaohs, obviously the pyramids. It was absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it, and apparently it took 23 years to construct this museum. I mean, the money behind this was significant. It was incredible. They flew all these people out to just be there for the opening of it. Absolutely amazing.
While the Grand Egyptian Museum celebrated the triumph of preservation, the Louvre not so much. 2 weeks after the daytime jewel heist in Paris, investigators now say the thieves weren't master criminals at all. They were just amateurs. According to the Paris prosecutor, 2 of the suspects are a couple with children. They were part of a 4-person crew that pulled off what looked like something straight out of a movie. A stolen truck, a furniture lift, a smashed window, and 8 priceless jewels worth around $102 million gone, all in under 7 minutes. 4 people have now been charged, but the gems remain missing. French media say the thieves may have panicked, dropping Empress Eugenie's diamond crown during their escape and leaving behind tools that carry their DNA. Ever wished you had a robot to clean your house? Well, it's finally here, but it comes with a hefty price tag and controversial privacy terms. The robotics startup 1X, backed by OpenAI, just opened pre-orders for its new humanoid robot, Neo. It's roughly human-sized, weighs 30 kilos, and is powered by AI that lets it see, hear, and understand its surroundings. Think of it as a walking mix between ChatGPT and a Roomba that costs $20,000. It can lift 70 kilos, organize your shelves, and even hold a conversation at the same time, which, depending on how you feel about robots that talk back, is either amazing or mildly terrifying.
Yeah, I'm respectfully gonna sit this one out. I want nothing to do with this. Talk about a horror movie plot waiting to happen. I don't know if you're hip to this, but this is a humanoid robot called Neo that does your chores for you, and for only 20 grand, you can get a robot that is 5'6" and has cameras as eyes. I don't know about you, that sounds terrifying to me. If it doesn't know how to do one of the chores you tell it to do, it needs a human to go inside of the robot, somebody from the company to go inside of the robot to do the chore, and then it'll remember how to do it. Because that doesn't sound creepy at all. Thought we would have had enough movies and by now to be like, yeah, we're not letting this fly. That's a terrible idea.
Naturally, the internet is having a field day. Here are some of the funniest tweets and posts about our soon-to-be robot overlord.
Day 2 of cleaning up after humans.
Good morning. Your wife snuck out to a Coldplay concert after you went to bed last night. Have a great day.
Husband is outsourcing his one job.
Put the dishes away, Neo.
I am sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
The masculine urge to buy a $20,000 humanoid robot instead of a bed frame.
Good morning. I cleaned the dog like you asked me to do. It stopped moving after I took it out of the washing machine.
May drip mine out.
My Neo robot has a rod mode.
Good morning. Your payment was declined for the 3rd time, and this is your final reminder to update the credit card on the file.
It's been days, but social media is still buzzing over the crown gifted to Donald Trump in South Korea. President Lee Jae-myung gave him a replica gold crown and the country's top honor, the Grand Order of Mugunhwa. Online, reactions are split. Some call it ironic, especially after the No Kings protest against President Trump, while others say it's simply smart diplomacy.
I was really angry, like many other people, when I saw that President Lee had gifted Trump this crown, especially after No Kings Day, and everyone around the world knew about the millions of Americans that marched against Trump's nefarious behavior and his pretending, acting like he's the king of America, which there is no king of America. When I searched for the crown or information on it, one of the things I came across was this on Threads. It is not a crown worn by living kings. This style of Silla crown was found only by only in burial chambers of dead kings. It is made with very thin sheets of real gold, too fragile to be worn by a living person. It would have crumbled. A real one would have been as strong as aluminum foil. The crowns of living kings were usually made from black silk and beads. Gold crowns were for the dead. They gifted him a replica of royal burial wear. The Trump was given a Silla dynasty crown. That dynasty fell to financial instability, incredibly high tax, wealth, inequality, widespread rebellion against their king. Amazing gift, President Lee. Okay? I looked that up. It's real too. The people rebelled against this dynasty's king because he was basically like, let them eat cake. Was he like telling us the room, that he read the room, and that there's meaning to the gift? Because every gift holds a meaning.
From royal crowns to spooky clowns, the 2025 Halloween celebrations were filled with bizarre and flashy costumes as always. But with the US economy struggling, not everyone's in the festive spirit. People have complained about cheap candy and cheap, basic costumes as being signs there's a recession on its way.
The biggest recession indicator to me is the reaction people are having to celebrity Halloween costumes this year. Because to be honest, celebrities aren't doing anything different than they have done for at least the last 6 or 7 years. It's just like seeing people pour like budget and money and all this stuff into like an outfit that you didn't even wear on actual Halloween. Not right now.
A real recession indicator to me is the fact that they don't give Tootsie Rolls no more. Because Tootsie Rolls are considered the filler of candy, and people aren't buying it no more. They're being careful with what candy they buy for Halloween.
I think that an increase of clowns as Halloween costumes is a recession indicator. In general, I feel like the vibes this Halloween are very, very low. And like, I live in LA. I'm friends with like a lot of like alternative creative people. Usually the season is like our time to shine, and no one, myself included, kind of really gets about it this year. And my theory is that everyone's being a clown because it's the easiest, cheap, free Halloween costume you can do. You can basically do it with just makeup. You can kind of do whatever outfit you want to do. You can just do clown easy.
Having a boyfriend used to be a flex. Now it's almost embarrassing. That's according to an op-ed in British Vogue. On social media, women are blurring faces, cropping photos, and ditching boyfriend content altogether. The piece dives into the changing social trend, and even days after its release, it's still causing a stir. Here's the author behind it, explaining why she wrote it.
Listen, for this piece, I interviewed a bunch of women. I spoke to them about why they hide their partners on social media, or they like post very inconspicuously about them. You know, some people said it was about privacy and this sort of unique, special privacy that you only afford your romantic partner. A lot of people spoke about the evil eye and this idea that, oh, if I post my partner, then people who are jealous of me will somehow, through their terrible vibes, ruin my relationship. Some people said that they felt as if they were scared to post because what happens when someone comes to them as a woman, or what happens when they break up and they have to, you know, delete all the posts, and there's this whole feeling of like shame of having tried and failed to find love. And then there was a really interesting point that came across both people in relationships and single people, and this idea that like being in a relationship with a man and showcasing it to the world in and of itself was an embarrassing thing to do. And that's what I really wanted to get into. There was this idea of there not being a solidarity with other women. There was this idea of like a relationship just by default.
Here is my take on this article. Given the fact that this was posted on Vogue, which is a platform predominantly for a female audience, combined with this title that I know was specifically used to villainize the women who do participate in relationships with men, it really just felt like girl pitting girl against girl over boy. Like, does that not completely miss the point? Like, what is the obsession with a woman's chosen relationship with men? I'm gonna be honest, this felt like performative feminism to me. It just felt like beauty standards kind of repackaged, where they're kind of redefining or trying to push a new definition of what it means to be accepted by other women. My hot take is that no matter if a woman wants to celebrate her relationship with her man, go all Megan Stallion, like that is not a step backwards for feminism. Or a woman that's choosing not to participate in romantic relationships at all because she prefers it that way, none of that should point to whether a woman is critiquing or participating in gender norms or traditional norms. I felt like with this article being intended for women, to then pit women against women because of their relationship with men, ironically centers men. I think women should continue to celebrate women's choices and womanhood regardless of how they choose to get involved with the opposite sex. Congratulations, Vogue, you have successfully rage baited me. That was horrendous.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.